We are back again with another review of The Sopranos, Episode 4, Season 1. This episode is titled The Netherlands, and here we go. So, Tony is paranoid over his sessions with Dr. Melfi as he sees Silvio leaving the dentist. I think it's the dentist's office, because he says something to the dentist. He leaves the office, and this office is I think it's opposite Melfi's office, or it's on the same hallway, something like that. And Tony is really worried, and he starts talking about how if anybody finds out in the mafia, if anybody in the New Jersey mafia finds out, they'll have Tony killed, even though Tony's a capo, because talking to a therapist will be seen as a risk. He could be talking about matters of business, naming people. But then we also see Tony is attracted to Melfi, and he then has a corrupt police detective who's called Vin. He has this detective, he bribes the detective, has this detective follow her around town, and then Vin assumes that Melfi is Tony's mistress when he sees her on some date. He pulls him over and he assaults and arrests the man. And really this infuriates Tony because it's just creating more problems, laying them at his door, putting another risk that he will be found out as taking therapy sessions at his door, and he knows his uncle Junior would be most likely to have him killed if he ever heard about this. But he also knows he isn't stupid, and also knows that maybe Jackie would. It's really a big chance, and it's a big risk that he'll die because of this. So really we're just seeing what's happening in this particular moment. And Vin, this police detective, he's just corrupt. He seems like he's drunk all the time. Seems like he's, and it's named by somebody that he's a gambler as well. So we get the impression he might be in debt to potentially Tony or somebody linked to Tony. And Carmela is under the impression that Tony's therapist is just a male, as in an earlier episode, Tony tells her that he's seeing a therapist, but she can't say anything because if anybody finds out in the New Jersey Mafia, they will have him killed. But Tony says to Carmela he thinks he might quit therapy. He doesn't go into the details to her, but we know it's because he thinks he's going to get found out for having therapy, and he's worried if he gets found out. He doesn't know where the killer will come from, but he knows it's within the mafia, and he doesn't know who will order it, who will do it. He'll be at risk really every single day of what would be a very short life after that. But Carmela then says something about how if he doesn't continue, then their marriage might fall apart, which really forces Tony to continue to go to the therapy sessions. Christopher he's terrified after this mock execution, which leaves him in a neck brace. And when he and Adriana are in the car, they're talking to Meadow, and he's arguing with Meadow, and he starts shouting, did she tell Tony anything? Because two thugs took him to the Netherlands and almost killed him. Was it her? Did he put them at risk? And Meadow says that she never told Tony anything, and Christopher then assumes that this must mean Junior's responsible, which he is, because he had Mikey kill Brandon, attempt to kill Christopher, so he knows. But there's a funny line, because Christopher's just finished arguing with Meadow, and then Christopher says, you know, when you were a kid and I used to take you to McDonald's, I'll do that again, and we'll get you a Happy Meal or something. And Adriana goes, where are you? Because just a few minutes ago he was shouting and screaming. It's quite a funny line. And then we see Christopher and Adriana go to his apartment, to Brendan's apartment, and they find Brendan dead in the bathtub, killed by, obviously, Mikey. And Christopher really wants revenge, and he goes down to the hospital, and Tony, Pussy, Paulie, and I think Silvio are there. They're surrounding Jackie. Jackie Prio's on his deathbed now. And Christopher says he wants to kill Junior for what happened. He wants his revenge, and Christopher says he can't go after Junior because if he goes after Junior and he fails to kill Junior, then Junior will have him killed. And if Junior doesn't, one of the other captains or capos, such as Larry Barisi, might insist on killing Christopher, seeing him as a rogue. But this leads to Tony going to see Junior at a diner, and Mikey's outside. He's basically like the guard, you could say, and Tony is furious because he's got all this built up anger all of a sudden because Jackie's on his deathbed. His therapy sessions might get revealed. He's got a lot of stress, and he pulls Mikey out of the car and he just beats him up. And then he storms into the diner, and when him and Junior talk, Junior says, "You got no offer of compromise," and Junior then tells him he should, quote, "come heavy," end quote, which is just a gun, basically means bring a gun to his next visit, because next time, if it's not an answer Junior wants them, one of them's going to end up dead, which is, it's kind of hinted that Junior will kill Tony. Even though if he doesn't want to, it's hinted he will. And with the prospect that a civil war could really break out among the New Jersey Mafia, with Tony as, in this, just after Jackie now dies, without a clear successor, Tony talks to Larry Barisi, who's the other capo, and he also talks to the captains, which are Jimmy and Ray, and they say they want Tony to be boss, but Tony is seeking a diplomatic resolution with his uncle and not a war in New Jersey. As Tony I don't think Tony wants the stress of a war in New Jersey right now. And he also thinks that if Junior is the boss means that if there's a crackdown on the New Jersey Mafia in the future, Junior will be the first to go down. So it's really protecting himself again. And then Tony goes to see Junior at the diner, and he says that Junior can have it, but he says he wants something from Junior, which is profitable for Tony and his people. And Junior gives it to him, as Junior is basically boss now. Tony is content with this decision, as he thinks he can keep Junior away from finding out about the therapy, and decides to remain in therapy. AJ gets into a fight with a classmate, but then when they have a real proper second formal fight, Jeremy, I think he was called, he just gives AJ some money because... And AJ doesn't understand, so AJ goes to see Meadow, and Meadow's talking to him, and Meadow says, does he not know who their father is? And AJ, he just doesn't know, he's a dumb kid, he really doesn't understand this. And then Meadow says that Tony's involved, which then obviously means the Mafia, so the New Jersey Mafia, so yeah. And then Meadow says to AJ how many garbage men actually live in a house as big and expensive as theirs, and then shows him a Mafia-themed website. It's something called like Mob Historical or something. And at Jackie's funeral, Meadow shows AJ the federal agents, which of course is reminiscent of the fact that Tony is a part of the New Jersey Mafia. And Tony is talking to Christopher, Paulie, Silvio, Pussy, and he says that he's given Junior the illusion of control while they sit behind and make a lot more money, and when Junior goes down, they will be in a better place financially and just literally, as they will not be in jail. Thank you for watching, and come back again for the next episode when it arrives. Thank you.